Greetings, students, and welcome to your How to Ace College Using Psychology mini lecture activity thing. This week you have your third exam. As such, I did not want to assign a whole documentary and all of that. So we're going to do a little activity that hopefully will make you better students. Part of the goal for this whole class is to kind of help you use psychology in your everyday life, right? To help you use it to improve your life, to make your life easier, to make it better. And your textbook has magnificent instructions about ways you can kind of hack your brain, right? So you're like hacking your memory using these techniques that we're learning about our brain and how memory works to make college easier, right? So I'm going to give you guys a bunch more ideas here in this lecture. You also have your textbook ideas, and then I want you guys to pull some down in the discussion board. And we'll have a chat about study methods down there. So that's our big activity this week. So that's what we're doing with our exam. So college kind of got to this point where everybody goes to college, right? Except here's the thing, college is hard. Like, it's supposed to be hard. If it were easy, it would be, everybody would be here all the time, right? People wouldn't drop out. It wouldn't be a thing. So college is supposed to be hard. You were supposed to be doing a difficult thing. So yes, sometimes it's going to be stressful, and that is okay. But unfortunately, so many of you did not learn a lot of the study techniques and memory drills and stuff in K through 12, a lot of the times because of COVID, that could have helped you in college. And I feel so bad for you guys as a result. Like, it's not your fault at all. K through 12 is supposed to teach you how to learn, whereas college is supposed to teach you how to critically think and evaluate the world. But sometimes we miss the learning bits, and we need to go back and do a couple extras. So let's go through some things that I really want to highlight from your textbook, and then some additional things that I want to talk to you guys about. So it talks about chunking, right? This is literally how we memorize phone numbers, right? It'd be really hard to memorize a 7-digit long number, but if you break it into chunks, way easier. That's what they mean, breaking information into chunks. They also talk about elaborative rehearsal, which is in your keywords and concepts. So much easier to remember something if you can already relate it to something else you already know, right? There's something already there. Mnemonic devices. Mnemonic devices are great. Creating a rhyme or an anagram or something like that to remember stuff, super helpful. Distributed practice. I know you don't want to hear this, but it is better to study every day for a week than to try to cram the night before. Right? The more time we spend exposing ourselves to information and then allowing that information to be encoded in our brain through sleep, the more likely it is to stay there, right? And that goes with rehearsal. Practice makes perfect, guys. There's a reason that's a saying, right? Because it works. Rehearsal, absolutely. Sleep. We need sleep, guys. We really need sleep. We particularly need sleep to learn and build memory. If you study really hard up until 3 a.m. and then you get up to take an 8 a.m. exam, you're not going to remember anything. You're going to be exhausted. It's just not going to work. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And then I also have on here study environment. Guys, you can't multitask. I don't know why we decided to tell humans that they can multitask. They can't. We're terrible at it. Like, absolutely terrible at it. I know you think that you are watching a movie and doing your homework and talking to your friends, but you are doing all three of those things incredibly poorly. Focus, pick a thing, right? Way easier to study if you can actually focus. Speaking of focus and studying, organization is going to help with that, guys. Okay, the number of you who give yourself panic attacks because you didn't read the syllabus and know that an assignment was coming up, right? I can't help you with that. You're just creating stress in your world. Don't do that. Time management comes with that, right? Looking at your syllabus, figuring this stuff out in advance. I actually have something called a super syllabus. You're like, ooh, what's a super syllabus? I combine all of my syllabi together, right? So even when I was a student, I would do this, where I would take all 4 or 5 of my syllabi, whatever it was, and I'd put them into a giant Word document so that week by week, I knew what I had to do. And I would use that opportunity to break up any projects or papers I had into smaller little chunks so that they didn't come out of nowhere and scare me and be like, oh, I have to do a thing and I have no time to do it, right? Organization helps with anxiety, guys. It really, really does. Students who attend office hours are more likely to do well in a class. There's actual science on this, I promise. Shortcuts often cost you time, guys. Shortcuts often cost you time. The number of you who spend more time using AI to do your homework than it would have taken you to do the original assignment is mind-blowing. It really is. So often when we take these shortcuts, oh, this way I don't have to learn it. Well, you still have to learn the thing for the next exam or whatever it is. And you didn't do that, so now you've wasted your time doing the shortcut and you didn't learn the thing. That's not helpful. So these are the kinds of things that can really help with all of the rest of it. Um, you're more likely to remember something if you get it wrong first, right? That's why your quizzes are set up the way they are. Um, if you can get something wrong on a low stakes quiz that I don't care, right? You get credit for it regardless. You're more likely to remember it then when it counts for your exam. Isn't that fun? I know. Writing encodes things into your memory better than typing. So if you're working with notes and you really want to get those notes in your head, copy them by hand. Really works well. Promise it does. Again, my invective against multitasking. You cannot multitask. No one can. I know everybody thinks they can. I know everybody wants to think they're an amazing multitasker, but it's just not in human ability. It is beyond us to properly multitask. So that is my little rant. That is my little mini lecture on all of the things that you guys can do to become better students, to use psychology, to ace college, to make college easier for you, kind of brain hacks, right? So go ahead, go down to the discussion board post, and we're going to have a little chat about what you learned about study hacks and your brain and all of that, and see if we can come up with an awesome list of ways to ace college using psychology. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.